Welcome to another entry of the Caregiver Diaries with G and Mac. I'm G. So this is how crazy you act when you're a caregiver. Okay, we're gonna start over again. Welcome to another entry of the Caregiver Diaries with G and Mac. I'm G, and this is Mac who is going crazy. Well, she's like that today because she's been self-caring all weekend long.
Yes, I have been on a mission of peace and caregiving for myself. And I'm sorry, my friend, that your experience has not been as mine.
It's okay.
So let's go ahead and get some of your experiences off your chest.
I'm just a little jealous. Just a tad bit jealous. But you know, girl, you know I'm just kidding, but I'm happy for you because we all need to take care of self-care is extremely important. Plus, I got Garrett's popcorn. So had she not gone for self-care, I would not have Garrett's popcorn. We're not going to talk about the carbs. I'll start again tomorrow. So just to share, since our last entry, my mom, who, mind you, just got up without her walker to close the door tighter.
Yes.
Because we were getting on her nerves.
Yes.
But her and the walker, that's a whole nother story.
Absolutely.
Thankfully, she has not fallen when she sneaks and doesn't use her walker. But on a serious note, my mom was in the hospital a week ago Friday. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She was just kind of having some issues with her breathing. And the nurse had come by to see her and noticed that she was really, her blood pressure was good, oxygen level was good, but her respiration was off. So she recommended that we take her to the emergency room. Well, my sister, who was in town for a change, had to take her because I was not home. So she got a chance to experience what I have experienced in the last 3 months. This is the third time my mom's been in the hospital.
Wow.
So anyway, but she keeps bouncing back. So anyway, she was admitted. She ended up having COVID and another UTI, the deadly, daggone UTIs, which just wipe her out. We're going to see a urologist in a couple weeks because this is the third one she's had. So we want to see if there's something that we can do to help prevent those because her aphasia gets worse. It's like a light switch goes off.
The mood changes.
Everything. Mm-hmm. It's like one day, because I had suspected that she had one, called the doctor, we did a urine test, she had it, they started on an antibiotic. But 2 days later, even being on antibiotic, it's like the light switch just cut off. Mm-hmm. And she just couldn't move. So anyway, she was in the hospital on Friday, week ago Friday, and she was released on Tuesday. Yeah, what's the day? A week ago, Tuesday. So those days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I was at the hospital 2 times. It's a 30-minute drive to where she goes. So an hour a day and 2 times going back and forth to the hospital. But I like to be there early in the day so I can catch the doctor. And then I also like to be there in the evening after dinner when she gets ready to go to sleep. Because, I'm always concerned with the aphasia and her not being able to communicate, and all of that. Even though this time, she remembered how to do the buttons and all that kind of stuff. But I always I would just say, if your loved one is ever in the hospital, you definitely want to talk to the doctors in person just to see what's going on. Because most time the nurses kind of don't know exactly what the plan is and all of that. Well, the third day that my mother had been in there, she hadn't been out the bed. So I said, are you all going to do physical therapy?
Yeah.
Because she needs to get out the bed. And it was like, oh, she walks around and stuff. Yeah, she does. So no sooner than I said that, 2 hours later, PT came in and got her up out the chair, and I think that was on that Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Oh, yeah, on that Monday they got her up and got her in the chair. Um, and Tuesday she was up in the chair too, and she got released later on in the evening. Mm-hmm. But I had to advocate. Mm-hmm. You know, I had to ask those questions. If you don't ask those questions, a lot of times, even though she got top-notch care, mm-hmm. you know, the nurses, everybody except for one nurse, but everybody was nice. Everybody was attentive. But, you know, even though I had to remind my mother, you know, there's other people in the hospital, not just you. So sometimes when you push the button, if it's not an emergency, they might not get there right away. Mm-hmm. So she had a hard time understanding that. But I had to just remind her there are other people not only on the floor, mm-hmm. but in the whole hospital. It's not just you. So anyway.
But you know what I do, Gina? For my mom that has dementia, or my father who's post-kidney transplant, I bought a whiteboard, mm-hmm. and I used a permanent marker, and it may say, "Hi, I have aphasia."
Right. They have that.
And I wrote my phone number on there, my brother's number, right. and my children's
They have
numbers.
A whiteboard on the...
They do have one in the hospital.
And I wrote all that.
But I have a personal one that I have at their bedside.
Okay.
That lists the things on there.
Yeah.
You know, even though they may have it. Even though they have a wristband that says my father's not to have blood pressures in his left arm, mm-hmm. I still document that on his little whiteboard. Yeah. Because some mistakes happen, right?
Yeah. No,
this is just an added defense mechanism for my family. Right. It may work for you, it may not, but this is just some tools that I use in my arsenal.
Yeah. Everything because I always put on there no chocolate. And I remember the aide was talking to the nurse about what my mother was going to eat. She said, "Oh, don't, no chocolate, no chocolate." So they did pay attention to it. And I do put on there that she has aphasia, mm-hmm. And all of that. So she came home Tuesday evening and doing fine. Went Wonderful. Back. So Tuesday, it was Tuesday she came home. And Tuesday or Wednesday, girl.
She was sitting up with the dog on that picture you sent me.
Oh, yeah. So she was glad to see the dog, and the dog was glad to see her because now the dog can get food from her plate.
But you know what?
What?
I reached out to Gina and I said, "How's your mom doing?" And Gina responded. And my second question was, "How are you?" Do you know Gina never responded? Because it's so uncommon mm-hmm. that a person says, "How is the caregiver doing?"
Right. You're right. Because I always say, and I probably say this all the time when we're on here, people say, "How's your mom doing, Gina?" I said, "She's fine because she lives in a spa." She lives at a spa. She give her showers. I rub her feet every night with lotion. I bring her meals. I do, comb her hair. So she's fine. We always use humor. I don't mind doing this at all.
No, not at all.
But it would just be nice if somebody, like when Mac did, say, "Gina, how are you doing?" Because mm-hmm. people always forget to say to the caregiver, "How are you doing?" That just goes a long way when somebody really asks how you're doing. So
and speaking of spas, I was able to take a retreat for the weekend, but let me tell you about how I got started. My trip was supposed to begin, I thought, at midnight. My friends called me at 2 a.m. and said, "Hey, Mac, where you at? You're supposed to be here by now." So I was so glad that I put a load of clothes in the wash mm-hmm. the night before. Mm-hmm. So my husband and I folding clothes. I'm just mm-hmm. throwing things into the suitcase. Mm-hmm. He's flying down the highway, and we make it on time, but because of caregiving, I was just drained. I'm not the woman I used to be. Right. I was tired.
Right.
So that indicated to me that this was a much needed vacation trip. Yeah. So self-care is so very important. I went to a place called King Spa. A King Spa was an absolute oasis. It provided massages as well as therapeutic temperature rooms. So there was like an ice room, a infrared room, a very hot room, a room with gold in it that provides some healing. There was a room with amethyst, cypress, and these all promote healing. So it just was refreshing, to say the least. You know,
What did your parents say when you told them you were going out of town?
my father said, everybody's going places when I'm going. And I felt so bad. And I was like, I'll be back after these messages. I felt so bad because my daughter just went somewhere. She went to Puerto Rico. My son is going somewhere. And then I went, and he's like, everybody's leaving, you know, and I felt bad. But you have to rejuvenate, revive, so that you can be a better version of yourself. And once you're a better version, you're able to help them, you know. So I had to be able to recharge.
I always feel guilty when I'm going someplace. I don't get to go too often, but when I do. But all it takes for me is to get in my car, put on my playlist, and hit the road. And then once I get where I'm going, I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know, even though I talk to my mother all the time if I'm ever gone. But you feel a little bit of guilt.
Of guilt.
But you have to do it.
You do.
You have
And
to do it.
every 4 hours during my trip, just like you would with your children, I call, how are you doing? What are your blood sugars? What did you eat today? Do you need anything? Right. And then once they said they did need something, I would dispatch. I call my husband, I call my son or my brother. Go do A, B, C, and D. So I was never completely off.
Right.
But just on the operational side of the caregiving versus the hands-on part.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize how exhausted I was until just this past Sunday. So, like I said, it was from Friday to Tuesday, back and forth to the hospital twice a day. Not really sleeping because I'm worried. You know, one time I got a call in the night, and I saw the name of the hospital on there. My heart just jumped and, I was pounding. Where they were asking me something, because I told them, you call me anytime if it's something you don't know, something my mother thinks she's trying to say, you let me know. So they called about something, but still that phone call, I'm like, oh. Yeah. So once she did get home, it was just, yesterday was Sunday. I mean on Sunday, this is what's today?
Today's Tuesday.
Okay, but on Sunday, I did nothing all day long.
Good.
And I never just do nothing normally. Well, I slept, watched TV, took care of my mom's needs. Slept, watched TV, took care of my mom's needs. That's all I did all day. And of course, the whole time she was saying, when you gonna water the plants? Now she could say that clear and plain as day. When you gonna water the plants? Can I have a snack? Yeah, all that stuff. That's fine. When you gonna do that when you gonna do this? And I had to finally tell her, Mom, I'm not doing anything other than what you need me to do. That's all I'm doing today. Yeah. And so that's what I did. So I finally felt
for creating boundaries
on Sunday. So
I'm
just glad that Mac, you were able to.
Thank you.
To get away. I am hopefully next month. I'm gonna get a couple days away, which will be good. We'll see about that. But my birthday is not May. My birthday's in June.
Yeah.
So I'll start planning for that. But I'm hoping I can get away at least for a weekend in June.
I hope so. I hope so.
But that's it for today, is it?
Yep.
Yeah. Last week we had Deborah from the Mary Center on.
Yeah.
And she really didn't get a chance to finish talking, and we had some technical difficulties with the Zoom, so it wasn't the best quality.
No.
So we're going to have her back on to talk a little bit more about what you should look for when you are looking for a daycare. And we've got some other folks lined up. We have a physician lined up. We have a social worker lined up. So we have nurses. We have several people lined up. But we would love to hear from you. We would love for you to come on and share your story. And any resources that you have, we would really like.
Absolutely.
We would really like.
We would like to hear from you.
Right. So,
and it costs nothing to support us. So please,
we're not asking for money. We're not doing this for money. We're just doing it because we feel like we can share. We feel like there's an audience out there
That's right.
who can relate to what we're doing. People always say, "Girl, you all need to do a podcast."
Do a
or something."
podcast.
People be interested. Several people have said, "Thanks for sharing your story. Thanks for the humor." So we have a lot
To say.
in store.
That's right.
So
That's right.
we're getting there. We're not pros at it, but
No.
we're slowly but surely. We even made a reels today on Instagram.
Yes, we did.
We had to do it 3 or 4 times, but we at least
But we did
we
it.
think we got one that's worth it. So
That's right.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yes,
Sitting
yes.
with us today, and as always,
Who cares? G and Matt care.
See ya.